this segment, I'm trying to let people know that they can step up and try the emotion code, body code, releasing trapped emotion energies. So today, I'm going to just go over a little bit with you, just to show you how it works, the intricacies of it. Over a little bit with you. Let me see. Hang on a second. Show here. You. Boom. Okay. All right. So now that we're here and I've finally got it together a little bit, the emotion code. Let me just give you a little information or a little insight about what the emotion code is actually and how it works. I've been an energy practitioner for a lot of years, 25, 35, I don't know, I've lost track, something like that, years. And I've used many modalities, and this one sold me years ago. This one sold me. I couldn't believe how deep this went into the body and released so much to help people. And it really expanded my own consciousness so that I could grab more information. The more you expand, the more information that you're able to gravitate to. So it's a simple process. It uses applied kinesiology, muscle testing, and magnets. Now, you can use a cheap little magnet off of your refrigerator, or you can use your fingertips. Your fingertips are magnetized. And that's what I use. I use the fingertips. So what we're doing is we're releasing by connecting with one's subconscious higher self. And we're just simply asking what's going on with this person's body. Is there an underlying root issue going on with whatever is ailing them? Or is it trapped emotion triggering this? So that's what we do. That's how we do it. It's that simple. And then we just continue from there, and we use the body code to go deeper into the body to find associated imbalances that are also triggering it. So it can be in layers. So it's designed to help alleviate physical and emotional wounds by identifying, correcting the root issue that's going on. So with that said, the body goes through, some internal changes as it's letting go of stuck emotional frequencies with this work. And it's a bit of work for the body. And sometimes you may feel a little bit tired or fatigued after. You may even experience some emotional ups and downs while the body's recalibrating and adjusting to the energy frequencies that we just released from your body. So the organs and glands can actually go back to the functioning at the frequency they're supposed to be functioning at. Organs and glands have their own signature frequency that they vibrate at, just like emotions have their own signature frequency. So when there's too many in the body, they get in the way, and they interfere with the organs and glands ability to work better. They can't work at optimum efficiency because it's like an anchor hanging on them. So anytime someone has an emotional experience that they've gone through in life, if those experiences and those emotions get stuck and they haven't been fully processed, they'll stay there. And then they'll add more and more and more as life goes on. You'll just continue to add more layering to the same. So this is what we're using. We use this chart. This is the emotion code chart, okay? And in it, there's two columns that we use, A and B. So that's a total of 60 emotions that are low frequency, very low vibration that we work with, okay? And these are the organs and glands over here that generate these, okay? So just to give you an example, the lungs and colon, okay? Lungs and colon, they generate these 10 because there's 5 in each cell block. So these two organs generate these 10, not these 10. They can't. So they each generate their own section, okay? Just so that you're aware. So Everything is energy and everything has a vibration, including the organs, glands, and emotions. So I just wanted you to know that and be really aware of that. And the organs and glands can weaken in time and work less effectively if there's a lot of that in the body. It can also trigger things like liver and heart disease, stomach ulcers, hernias, kidneys, malfunctioning kidney stones, cancer, bladder discomfort, gallbladder, thyroid, knee and hip pain can also have replacements. I'm sure many of you have heard of knee replacements, hip replacements, thyroid replaced. The majority of this stuff is because there's just too much trapped emotion frequency stuck in the body, triggering these not to work well. So I also work with animals, not just people. There's a lot of rescue animals out there that are just really hurting. So I work with animals as well. And I have found that this work goes deeper into the body to help the body heal itself. It's just an assist. It helps the body heal itself. It also can release inherited trapped emotions that are not yours, something you inherited from either your mother or your father. It's from one or the other parent. It's not from both. And then we just go back in generations. We can go back in ancestry and find how far back this can go. I mean, I've worked on people that have gone back 500 and 700 years. And we release, regardless of whether they're still on the earth plane or not, we release the trapped emotion. Even if they're on the other side, we release the trapped emotion that was stuck. And, which was an interesting occurrence that happened with Dr. Bradley Nelson at one of his events, also releases from future generations that are watching. He did a segment, an event once, and there was a woman in the audience that stepped up to him after it was all over and said, "I'm a psychic medium." And she said, "I watched you, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but you had probably close to 200 generations that haven't come through yet, future generations watching and cheering you on because they're not going to have to come through now with those trapped emotions that these other people had." So we're not releasing just from past ancestry if it's inherited. It's also future, which is pretty cool. That's why I love this work. Helps so many people. So sometimes we also have to work in a certain order. The body isn't always ready to release or clear in a specific area until we clear some balancing or do some balancing in another area elsewhere in your body. So if this is of interest to you, go to my website and go to the home page, and you'll see there's an educational video there, and it's called Fundamentals of the Emotion Code. And I set it up so that there's a demonstration, there's a discussion, there's a little history of me. Also, let me see if there's one here. I wrote a book 4 years ago, and I believe, yeah, the book is in there as well. This is the book that I wrote 4 years ago, A Change in Perception. Very interesting. And you can read an excerpt in my website. So if you go to the top of the page on my website, click on my book. It'll let you in, and then you can read an excerpt from it. It's interesting reading. Very fascinating things that I received help from my spirit team because I'm clairaudient, and they actually helped me write the book. And there's some funny things that happened to me. A lot of the book is just pretty much questions and answers. Questions from me to my spirit team, and then their answer to me. So most of the book is questions and answers back and forth. So it's very interesting reading. I think you find, and there's some pictures in here. There's pictures of orbs in here, and let me just see if I can open a couple of pages here for you very quickly. Let's see. Of course, it's in the back. When you want something quickly, it doesn't happen, does it? There you go. I don't know if you can see that, but there's one. Anyway, this is a lecture that I attended here. This huge orb. This was when I was using crystal bowls, and I was all over New England, and I would be in wellness centers health centers, hospitals, you name it, I was there all over New England, from Vermont down to the Cape, and there's some orbs that showed up during the crystal bowl meditation. It was fascinating, fascinating. And this is just an image. And it actually, if I could give you a close-up, which I don't think I can, but this is actually a picture here of the last place that I lived. It looked like it was snowing in my house. There were so many orbs around me. It was crazy. It actually looked like it was snowing. So check it out. Things that you can see in the book. You can even order the book online through my website if you like, if you're interested. So I digressed a little bit, but there you go. There's some information there for you. And if you're interested, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way, if you have some friends that you think you might, or family members that might be interested in this, you can have them subscribe and let them know. That way you'll get notification when I'm going to be on. Okay. So let me just see if there's something else that I want to go over with you. Hang on. Okay. And okay. Great. All right, so there's a few people watching. And again, a lot of people are skeptical. So just watch. If there's some information in here that you find interesting, fascinating, awesome. All right, so let me just give you a little bit more information here. Let me just jump down here a little bit. Let me give you some information here on some testimonials, and then I'll give you some information on hot walls. What is a hot wall anyway? We're looking for that when we do the emotion code work. And I also offer a body evaluation scan for people that are interested in this work. And I offer a lot of free things, like this is free if somebody wants to step up. I can check your system, and if you have pain somewhere, see if you have trapped emotion stuck there. I can release the trapped emotion to relieve some of the pain that's going on in your system, like hips, arthritis somewhere, sciatic nerve, or whatever, knee pain, things like that. Even anxiety. I worked on a person earlier this morning, and they had anxiety, and I released some trapped emotion that was just free floating loose in their system that was triggering the anxiety, and I released it and then went from there. So it was pretty interesting. Just see. And I think I talked the last time that I was on about the knee, my right knee, when I had thought it was an injury, and it wasn't. I just overworked it because I was helping some people move, and overworked it, and it was just killing me. Come to find out, I had trapped emotion caught at my right knee, and I released it. I haven't had a problem with it since. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Let me just see if I can give you a little history here on the applied kinesiology. What is that anyway? A lot of people are asking me, what is applied kinesiology? Well, it's muscle testing. And what you're doing is you're actually communicating with your body. And your body's communicating back. You're asking questions. You're asking a yes, no question. It'll give you an answer if you tune into the subconscious of a client. So that's how this pretty much works. Even when I'm working on myself, I tune into my subconscious higher self. So many of the components in this method were actually discovered accidentally by observation, believe it or not. And the gentleman that founded this was a chiropractor, like Dr. Bradley Nelson. And his name was George Goodhart Jr., and he founded this in 1964. Miraculously, dramatically, by accident, working on some people. It was connected to the health or the lack of health of a specific corresponding organ. And he found that it worked with that. So let me read that again to you. He discovered that the strength or weakness of every muscle was connected to the health or lack of health of a specific corresponding organ. So it's pretty neat. And used muscles to give us that information. So he started a school. He founded that in 1975. And then he was appointed the U.S. Olympic Sports Medicine Committee in 1980 for the Lake Placid Games. Pretty interesting. And then in April of 1988, was nominated for the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Pretty neat. He also was written up in Time magazine back in 2001 as the new breed of healers. Okay, so kinesiology, muscle testing, has really been around a long time, and he passed away, unfortunately, in 2008. But, he brought a lot of information through for many people that are using that now. Chiropractors, nutritionists, emotion code, body code, we use it. So there's a lot of people using muscle testing nowadays. Let me see what else I can come up with here today for you. So again, don't be shy. If you think that you're having some pain or some issues, step up. Just step up. And whatever the pain is, if it's, between 1 and 10, 10 being the absolute worst, of course, what's the pain level that you're at? And we'll see if you have some trapped emotion that we can release from your system. So, what else do we have? All right. So let's go into heart wall. I'm just checking back and forth to see if there's anybody interested. If anybody has stepped up, I don't want to miss you. I also offer this on Facebook. So let's just see. I'll give you a little information about the heart wall. And that is something that, believe it or not, 90% of people have one and they don't realize it, including animals. Animals can have a heart wall. It's crazy. And all that is, it's a separate space, and it's set up as a protection for the heart by our subconscious when we experience something traumatic or we're exposed to, like, for example, divorce, a job loss, death of a family member, death of a friend, death of a pet. Our pets are part of our family. And we feel that impact. Moving away from the area when you're just a young kid. If you're only like 10 years old and you're moving away from all your friends, that is traumatic. The subconscious creates this automatically by shaving small amounts of energy off of other trapped emotions already in your body and dragging it up to the heart area. There's a field of energy around your heart. Just like the aura that's around your body, there's a field of energy around your heart. And in that field of energy, it drags these frequencies up to the heart and actually blocks it, literally blocks the heart so that nothing can hurt it. It's amazing how this thing works. And it can be, now the field of energy in your heart field is, the field of energy around your heart is 12 feet. Well, once a heart wall is created, it can go well beyond 12 feet. It can go yards, hundreds of yards, thousands of yards, thousands of feet, miles, very wide. I've worked on people that have had very wide trapped emotions. Excuse me. Thank you. So, wow. So 95, believe it or not, % of people have one and they don't realize it. And the reason for that is because, they're walking around thinking, there's something wrong with them and that they're just not as good as someone else. If they're not making a whole lot of money, they can't get that raise, they can't find a significant other, things like that take place. And we automatically start to think it's us because we're just, excuse me. Wow. Some dust in the air. So we automatically start to think it's us. So, and it's not us. Now, let me just give you another example. I'm sure you've heard of the book called The Secret. The theory behind that is to start thinking more positively. Well, and in theory, that works. Excuse me for just 1 second, because I'm going to sneeze again. Yeah, this is live and it's real. We have sneezing jags, we have coughing jags. Okay, so the secret, if you change your thinking to be more positive, is significant and important, but it's not the end all. And the reason for that is because trapped emotions radiate their own signature vibration out to the universe. So the vibrations that are trapped are what we keep attracting to us, not allowing us to move along and keep going. Okay. So, um, and there's nothing, it's not something that is going to release on its own. It's not going to just dissolve away. That's something that has to be released from the body. And we do that with the emotion code. It's for that reason many lead very diminished lives. They're unhappy, they're sad, they're unhealthy. Again, depression, lack of abundance in a lot of areas, abandonment, frustration, fear, grief, all of that. So as long as we have one in place, it's going to continue to attract more and more of those low vibration emotions. And eventually what happens is they just get larger and larger because there's layering now. You can have hatred hundreds of times, rejection hundreds of times. It depends on how wide you are, but it's layering, layering and layering. And with the emotion code, this is what we're doing. We're using or bringing into ourselves these trapped emotions, and there's 60 of them. Okay, 60. And that's why I say they all have their own signature frequency, and it's very low. So if you have a lot of those in your system, it's going to weaken the organs and glands, and also compromise a lot of things in your life if you have a heart wall with those. All right. So let me give you some symptoms. 5 symptoms of a heart wall. I'll break it down a little bit. Low immune system, low energy, out of touch with your purpose in life. You feel foggy, you're not really sure what it is that you want to do. I make a joke of it, but there's a lot of us, 50s, 60s, 70s, when we get older in life, the joke is, what do I want to be when I grow up? Well, I don't really want to grow up. So I try to make light of it a little bit for people. They're stuck, and help them kind of move along. And humor really does help a lot. Very high vibration, anything to do with humor, very high vibration. A desensitized heart. Now that is someone that actually can see love come to them. So the analytical mind understands it, thinks about it, but they're not feeling it. They don't feel it in here. They don't feel any passion because there's a heart wall there. Like I said, and that's what it's doing. It's blocking the heart. So the heart's not feeling things that it should be feeling. Communication isn't as good. All of that takes a back seat when you have a heart wall. Love communication becomes estranged. So when you're sending out a message to someone, the receiver on the other end of that, it's not going to be well received. They're not going to receive it the way you intended it, because they have to bump into all those trapped emotions that are in the heart wall before that message gets out of the field and contacts the other person, the receiver. So it's kind of crazy how that works. And lastly, lack of abundance in all areas of your life. I mean, you can have self-love is not there. Money, finances, you can't figure out why you can't get ahead. Trustworthy, genuine friends. A happy, creative job that makes you feel really good to get up and go in every day. You feel very creative working with this. Your health, loving companion. All of that is really because of your heart wall. Is blocking everything. So that is something that we usually release in 4 or 5 sessions. It will release. We can release it. And I usually tell my clients once a week for the next 4 or 5 weeks, so we can tear it down and get rid of it and take it out of your system. And then we can start working on the rest of what we're intending to work on. So what I also do for people is I work on what's called an evaluation, a body evaluation. So now what is that? I work on people, and I offer this freely as well. What that is specifically is when someone has all kinds of things going on with their systems and they don't really know what to do. What's going on in my body? I mean, I've been to the doctor, I've done this, I've done that. Body evaluation if they come to me and they're like at their last straw. They don't know what to do with themselves. And I tell them, let me just test your system, see what's going on with it for us before we do any kind of work, especially if you have a lot of pain or something. Let's just see what's happening. And then I can test just to give you a sneak peek of what's happening. And again, this is free. And even if somebody decides, you know what, this is a little out there for me, I don't think I'm ready for this, that's fine. Keep it as a gift. And if they are ready, it will resonate with them, and then they'll want to have a consultation with me. So this is what I'm checking when I do a body evaluation scan. Your immune system. I'm checking to see if it's functioning at 100%. If it's not, with muscle testing, and this is how I do it. I use the ring locks. Okay, this is a no. It just slides right through. You can't hold the rings like this solid. It just slides through. This is yes. All right. And with muscle testing, if it's not 100%, what is it? I can give you the figures. What's the brain percent of messages reaching organs and glands? If it's not 100%, I'll test it with muscle testing. Same thing with the heart percent of messages reaching body tissue. If it's not 100%, what is it? I can tell you with muscle testing. Also, light score. What's the light score ratio in your body? We're made up of light. We're pure energy. So the light within us can diminish or drop in frequency, just like everything else, if we're surrounded by people that are low vibration, nasty, angry, combative. If you're eating junk food that's either not organic, not even non-GMO, you're just eating a lot of junk food, not good for the system. Drops the light score. And with muscle testing, I can test to see where that is. I'm going to test to see if you have a heart wall, when it was created, what age this was created. It doesn't matter how old you are now. I'm working on people now that are in their 70s and 80s, and they're wanting me to do this, and I am. And I'm finding their heart walls were created when they were teenagers or younger. So it doesn't matter how old you are. This work works on everything and everyone. And animals, believe it or not, can have a heart wall. I mean, there's a lot of animals that are so horribly abused. Oh, breaks my heart. They can have a heart wall. Okay. And a lot of trapped emotion in their body. And I've worked on many. I'm also testing your electrolytes, see if there are any that are out of range or where they should be. Majority of my clients, I find the B12 is always off. B12 is important. If your B12 level is low, it's just suggesting that there's either anemia or possible thyroid issue going on. So that's just one of the areas. I also test your organs and glands. Now there's 30 that I test, and I'm testing to see if they're imbalanced, blocked, or stressed. Also checking 7 chakra centers, seeing if they're imbalanced, blocked, or stressed. So that is free of charge. Now, if you're interested in that, all I suggest to you is send me an email, energy4522@gmail.com, with your name, age, email, body weight. Okay, and then if you're on any medications, I don't need the name of the medication, just what are you taking it for? Take medication for high blood pressure. Take medication for thyroid. Take medication for anxiety. Things like that. All right? So that's a heart wall. And that is something that I have to release. First and foremost, number one, that has to be released before we can do anything else. And the majority of the people that I work on, they feel it right away. They feel a shift in their body, that they know something took place. All right. So I've been on for 30 minutes, and I like to just get on and make myself known here so that people, if they're interested, can jump on. And I'm going to keep doing this every week. So if you're interested in sampling the emotion code, body code, and having trapped emotions released from your body, step out. We'll do this. Just check your system and see if there's any there. All right. So in the meantime, as we continue, enjoy this beautiful day that we're having here today. Enjoy this beautiful day. Get outside, get some sunshine, get grounded. In the meantime, make sure that you smile. Smile, smile, smile. And if not smile, you know what? Watch something funny or do something fun. Brings your frequency up exponentially. Love, love, love. All right, everyone, you take care. Love and light coming your way. I'll see you again next Tuesday, 12 noon. Bye for now.